Hey, shalom, shalom. This is Naaman with the DC Camp Branch of Great Millstone, back for another video. First and foremost, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai. Alright, double honors go out to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who continue to rule well. Salutations also go out to the fellow Akim that are out there on the highways and byways. Alright, teaching this truth, not to mention numerous amounts of videos that go out on a daily to flood the airwaves, further pushing the truth across the four corners of the earth. All right, while time permits us to do so. All right, so this is copyright disclaimer. Under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Fair use. Now, initially, I must confess that I got this idea from Lisa Cabrera because, to use, hold on. Hey, it's a tool. Use it while it's still available because, trust you me, after we get through roasting them over the coals, with their own device, they're going to tweak some things. But in this particular one, I ask a slightly different question than what she did. Pretty much the same results with a few, additions. And the question I asked ChatGPT was, all right, were black inventions stolen and then whitewashed? Okay? Because you're going to hear deny, deflect, as the typical Edomite will do. All right? And will never admit. All right? That's why it's good to have these things. What I tend to do is keep it on my phone with me. I'll download it, make it a PDF, whatever have you, so I can have it on file if need be, especially out there on the line, all right, with a fellow Akim. You can just pull it up on your phone. No, we got the receipts right here, all right. So it says, yes, as it answered, many so-called black inventions were stolen or whitewashed throughout history, which we all know, right? Especially during times when black inventors were denied patents. Why? Because of their status, all right? Recognition or legal protection, most notably during slavery and segregation in the U.S. and under colonial systems globally, all right? How black inventions were stolen or whitewashed. Patents, denied to enslaved or discriminated inventors. And we know who took credit as a result, right? It says enslaved black people were considered property, so even if they invented something, they couldn't legally apply for patents. How convenient, right? Slave owners often took credit for inventions made by enslaved people. After slavery, systemic racism still blocked many black inventors from receiving proper credit or legal protection. Did this stop back then? No, it continues to this day. I did a video, I don't know if it's been 2 weeks ago yet. A couple of young men over Africa. One has since been unalived. I believe he was the one with the, was it the TV? That it just drew from, it worked off the airwaves, everything, ambient energy, whatever have you. And Moses West, the one who, when the Flint, Michigan water crisis happened, he came with his machine that just drew moisture out of the air, I believe. And that's how it made water. But his name is Moses West. You can look it up for yourself. And looks like someone took credit for that. All right. So again, it's still ongoing. All right. It says slave owners often took credit for inventions made by enslaved people. After slavery, again, systemic racism still blocked many from getting the proper credit or legal protection. Whitewashing. Number 2, whitewashing contributions. Historical records often excluded black inventors' names or downplayed their roles. As well, I'm not going to jump ahead. We should all be thinking, who should just jump to the forefront of that line. It says schools and media promoted white inventors while ignoring black contributors. Exactly. I mean, it was an agenda, right? It says some inventions became widely known only under the names of white entrepreneurs who marketed or patented them. Examples of black inventions that were whitewashed or stolen. Traffic signal, Garrett Morgan, right? 1923. His invention was often credited broadly to modern engineers, with his black identity erased. See, they know what they're doing. All right, this whole system is designed to promote so-called white superiority, Edomite superiority. That's all it's ever been. All right. Salaki, there got a little head cold, right? So that's all it's ever been. That's all. Newsflash for you all that don't get it yet. That's all it's ever going to be as long as they're over us. All right. Continuing on. Gas mask. Again, Garrett Morgan. His life-saving breathing apparatus faced resistance because he was black. Demonstrations often used white assistants. And let's get this clear because I get so tired of this black and white, because there's no such thing. It's, all right, social construct as we should know by now. All right. And unfortunately, a lot of our people still locked in, all right, that box. Black. There's nothing black about me except the glasses I have on and what little hair that's not turning gray or white. All right. There's more to it. All right. Automatic elevator doors. Alexander Miles, 1887. For decades, elevators evolved based on his patent, but his contribution was largely ignored in mainstream history. Yeah, because you would have never thought that it would. Me personally, didn't think it went back that far. 1887. Wow. All right. Blood bank, which we all knew. This one, kind of easy. Dr. Charles Drew. In fact, here in D.C., his daughter was on the city council for a long time. Dr. Charlene Drew. All right. Pioneered large-scale blood banking, yet racial segregation policies dishonored his work, and myths spread falsely about his own death related to hospital segregation. Yeah, that was what was really sad about that. They didn't even want to treat him. These motherfucking pieces of shit, boy. Filament for light bulb. That's the one I was talking about earlier. Shit pop into everybody's head. It says improved Edison's light bulb by inventing a longer lasting filament, because there was I watch a lot of PBS and this particular channel here in the DMV. It's called Story TV, and they have a lot of biographies, and of course Edison being one. And they they just glossed over this part of it conveniently, right? Again, it says Louis Latimer improved Edison's light bulb by inventing a longer lasting filament, but Edison's name dominates the narrative. There you go. It's all about that narrative. Why it happened: racism and patent laws. Enslaved people couldn't own property, including intellectual property. The cost of that alone, think about it. They're so big on intellectual property now, when it comes to them especially. All right. When you think of how and when you go into music, oh man, is it just outright blatant, especially when you consider the days of rock and roll. Just that era alone, how many Jakes were fucked over. Let's just give it the respect that it deserves. All right. With owning their, what do they call them, masters. Things that, that's why they were so pissed, because Michael Jackson owned the, was it the rights to the Beatles? What? You got a nigger owning what do they call it? Damn it, it's a name for it. For the whole like collection. God dang it, I can't think of it now. But and then he ends up dead. I think it was Sony. I can't remember. It's not that big or important to go into it right now. But yeah, any way they can make money, and we all know who's at the forefront of this. The mastermind behind it. Getting everything out of Jake. The great pretenders, as I call them, lying pieces of shit. We've got a whole race of people that are so ashamed of who they are and have been throughout history. All right, that they have to pretend to be someone else because their own history, which is coming out. All right, and gotta admit we're helping it. They're being exposed for who and what they really are. All right, so all these lies that they've told through the decades and centuries, really, trying to put that specific image out there as to who they really want to be. All right, anything but who they are. All that's falling apart. And that's what we're out here. And that's 2 Corinthians chapter 10 and verses 4 and 5. That's what we're out there doing. Pulling down those strongholds, which are lies. All right. All the thievery, robbery, rape, and murder. All of it. All right. We're pulling the covering off. Exposing them for what? This is the age, this is the time that we're in now. All right. Anyway, it says why it happened. And, we couldn't own property, intellectual or otherwise. Gatekeeping, in science, engineering fields, black inventors face exclusion from institutions, companies, and funding opportunities. And the sad part is they have those of us that, especially in academia, that are gatekeepers. They're all about protecting this red piece of shit. All right, and are content with their status, all right, their role in this. It's it's that plantation, the workings of the plantation, but on a much grander, how am I going to put it? Just expand it to a degree that instead of you got your individual plantations, they've managed to, this is system-wide, the way it works. That's the best way I can put it. All right, you have these entertainers that are set up, like I said, these intellectuals, so-called, in academia. They all are gatekeepers for the man, so to speak. That's the best way I can put it right now. All right, let's set up. These universities, they get the creme de la creme, if you will, of Jake, and they, all right, or are encouraged. And it usually doesn't take very much with Jake to work against their own for them folks, on the behalf or behest of those folks. All right, someone put it, Jake sell you out for a 2-piece and a biscuit. All right, next one, erasure in education. History books often omitted black contributions, reinforcing myths that innovation was a white domain. So there goes that narrative. All right, modern efforts to correct this. Historians, scholars, and activists are working to restore credit to black America. This shit is coming to an end. It's like, so what at this point? Platforms like Black History Month, which uh, museums, and documentaries highlight overlooked contributions. Educational reform movements are pushing for more inclusive historical narratives. All right, see, like, why? Why now? Uh, oh my God, it's like, and what they're doing now, especially this administration, Trump's second term as president now. I mean, it came out the gate with this DEI shit. Latest thing I just heard, they're taking what's the Jake that gave the Medal of Honor, fought in World War One from Harlem. He was one of the Harlem Hell fighters, I think. Is his last name Johnson? He held off and captured some German soldiers, and he was awarded the Medal of Honor, of course, years and years after he'd been dead, posthumously, of course. Um, I think it was a base named after him. They were trying to take that down now. I mean, it's just blatant in your face, just, fuck you. Why? Because that narrative that they preached, that they were so superior and all that, is falling apart. So this, especially this administration here, is them trying to uh, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, damn it. In other words, make themselves like they're dominant once more. Their feelings are hurt. Like I said, they're being exposed for the wusses that they really are. This is who's over us. All right. Anyway, so one of the scriptures that should pop into your head. All right, got to go here. We got to go to Wisdom of Solomon. All right, because again, this was intentional. It's not it didn't happen. Not a coincidence. This was deliberate. This is Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. This is explains why we're out here. It hadn't been that long ago where we couldn't do this. All right, certainly in my lifetime. All right, he says, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him. All right, have they not? All right, and are we not standing before the face of these people? All right, and made no account of his labors. When you go and you search up all, this is just a very small number when you think of all. And again, we may never know to the extent this goes. I'm sure the number is much higher than what we've been able to find out. All the things that Jake has invented and these pieces of shit are taking credit for. Think about it. All right. 2, when they see it, they shall be troubled with fear. Why? Again, here we are here telling them to their face what they've done. All right. And what's going to be done to them as a result. All right. And they're seeing. This goes to Revelation 11 chapter. I believe it's. Do I have a? Yeah, I'll come back to here. I hate having a cold this time of the year. It's just miserable. All right. I'll start at 8. Revelation 11 and 8. And it says, and their dead bodies, which we were, from the neck up, shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And they of the people and kindreds and tongues and nations shall see their dead bodies 3 days and a half, and shall not suffer their dead bodies to be put in graves. And they that dwell upon the earth shall rejoice over them, and make merry, and shall send gifts one to another, because these 2 prophets tormented them that dwelt upon the earth, meaning the northern and southern kingdoms. All right, and we're in that period now in Ezekiel 37 where they're being brought back together. And as a result, all right, it says 11, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai entered into them, and they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. And this is what you're seeing. This is the period that we're in now. Now, you're going to have all kinds of, actually, you're seeing it now because of the issues. And I had said to myself, I think I mentioned it to a few other, brothers over the years, because I had read an article on years ago about how they have it in Germany, where the issues, where if you are a Holocaust denier, you get fine or jail or both. And they had a list of, I guess, the most notable ones that went to prison, served prison time over being a Holocaust denier. If I want to believe or disbelieve, how should that lets you know that, why do you need, if it's the truth, why do you need all these laws to defend it? To keep people from, whoa. And they use these Christians, these dumb, stupid ass Christians, and now you're seeing how they're being treated. I cannot find, I downloaded it somewhere about this. She appeared to be a Moabite. She was in Jerusalem. I think it was in Jerusalem, one of them cities over there. And she was just all praising in Israel. She happened to try to stop this one older ish. He was going by and he just hauled off, and wow, while she was on camera holding the mic, and wow, and kept on going. That's what they think of you. You stupid. They despise you Christians, but see, you won't listen. So I'm glad this shit is happening. They just, the last day or so, have burned a little settlement over there. Christians, Anyway, that's what you get for, hey, those are not the people, but you won't listen. You don't understand prophecy. All right. Anyway, 11 again, and after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai entered into them, and they stood up on their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. All right. So that's where we are now. Now let's go back to Wisdom of Solomon, and I'll wrap this up. Let's see, where was I? 2. All right. Again, when they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of salvation, which is coming. This deliverance is going to make the first one out of Egypt under Moses going to be much more spectacular, so far beyond all that they look for. All right. And they, repenting and groaning, verse 3, for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach. All right. Yeah, because what is that in Samuel about he who was never thought of? Let me see if I can find it. And Jake has been brought down so low, and has been, and of course, all this social experimentation by you know who. Again, the great pretenders. That, what do you think of when you look at Jake? When you hear about Jake, it's just, ugh. Like that little meme with the Ishmaelite, like, ooh, brother, ooh. That's how people react to Jake. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Where is, oh crap. Trying to remember how it was phrased. Let's see. Well, here's one. That's not what I was thinking of, though. Hold on. Give me just a second. All right. That's not what I was thinking of. I'll go to this one. Crap. Let's see. Because actually, this is talking about something else. Let's see. I do apologize. Let's see. All right. Now let's see. Maybe this is it. Yeah, wait a minute. Hold on. 1 Samuel. Well, dang it. Yeah, 1 Samuel 16, but that's not. I'll just go ahead and read it because, much like this is talking about the individual, we as a people, we go to Hosea, the first chapter, In fact, let's go there real quick. I apologize for taking so long. Let's go to Hosea 1. Let's see. All right. I will start at 7, and it says, "But I will have mercy," Salakia. "I will have mercy upon the house of Judah, and will save them by the Most High Yahweh their God, and will not save them by bow, nor by sword, nor by battle, by horses, nor by horsemen. Now when she had weaned Loruhamah, she conceived and bare a son. Then the Most High said, Call his name Lo-Ammi, for ye are not my people, and I will not be your God. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there it shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living God." All right. And when you go to 1 Samuel 16, all right, David anointed king, because the thing here, after he looked at the rest of his sons, beforehand, because of the outward appearance, again, something I'm getting back to with how Jacob's perceived now. Those can't be the people of the Most High. Get out of here. And yet, in all the scriptures, and even in all some of their writings, some of the stories that they make, it's always the ones that you least suspect. Wow. Anyway, let's see where I want to start here. Let's see. I'll start at 7. It says, "But the Most High Yahweh said unto Samuel, Look not on his countenance, or on the height of his stature, because I have refused him. For the Most High seeth not as man seeth. For man looketh on the outward appearance, but the Most High Yahweh looketh on the heart." That's why we're going through this period where you're being tried. All right. Then Jesse called Abinadab and made him pass before Samuel, and he said, "Neither hath the Most High chosen." Then Jesse made Shammah to pass by, and he said, "Neither hath the Most High Yahweh chosen this." All right, and then we're going to skip on down. All right, and Samuel said unto Jesse in 11, "Hear all thy children?" And he said, "There remaineth yet the youngest, and behold, he keepeth the sheep." And Samuel said unto Jesse, "Send and fetch him, for we will not sit down till he come hither." And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy, and withal, that's a lesson in and of itself, and withal of a beautiful countenance, and goodly to look to, meaning he was very young. And the Lord said, "Arise, anoint him, for this is he." And Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren. the Spirit of the Most High Yahweh came upon David from that day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah. All right. Again, that Spirit in Revelation 11:11 entered in. All right. So that few that go out here on the highways and byways, all right, and push the truth out, according to Ezekiel's 2nd chapter and 3rd chapter. All right. Because our people are really know. So again, you know, they go hard, we go hard. All right. Let's see. So that's going to be, damn. Yeah, they never thought Jake would rise up. But again, I'll take you back to Habakkuk, 1st chapter, where he says he's going to work a work in that day. All right. Because like I said at that video, there's no small miracle that we're still here with all that they're feeding us, all these fucked up medicines, if you want to call them that. But again, that's prophecy. All right. Wicked ass America, right? So with that, once again, I hope everybody is edified. All right. I will if I can. I don't think I can, but I'll figure out some way. If I can put this in the description, again, were black inventions stolen and whitewashed. All right. And that's why I got this answer here. All right. Yeah. So once again, I hope whoever views this is edified. That's what we do here at Great Millstone. Filter everything through the scriptures. All right. And so you should know it's only a select few prophecies. And it's right in everybody's face, especially after RFK said what he said the other day about in 4 years he wants you to wear so-called wearables, you know, your ID and shit, for your medical records and all that other information on it. You know, so try to tell you, this is all prophecy. All right, so with that, until the next video, shalom.